Hey, Adam,
Jeez,
one
why,
thing.
why do you think they called bumpers scary?
I don't know.
Because they come at the beginning, at the end, like bumpers.
Alex, you're a marketing guy. Do you like that design behind Paul? Does that sweet logo thing look pretty cool to you?
Hey, I forgot to hit the record button.
Yeah, that's really professional, isn't it?
Well, this is a professional podcast.
I met her in a parking lot and was handed two little Yorkies. And the only person I knew that knew Yorkies was Paul. So I called Paul and said, Paul.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and SoundCloud and subscribe today. Now it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sweet Talk, a weekly podcast here at Idaho State University's Continuing Education and Workforce Training. I am Paul Dickey, the apprenticeship coordinator here at Sweet. And as always, joining me is Raylyn Price, our interim director. Hey, Raylyn, how are you doing today?
Hey, I am great, Paul. It is a beautiful day here in Idaho. The sun is shining. We're into June. So we're able to enjoy all those summer activities that we've been looking for. So anyway, today's a great day. We have with us also today Angie Wilhelm, our marketing coordinator. Hello, Angie.
Hello, Raylyn. For everyone who's not a watcher of Sweet Talk, this is a really great, wonderful program, and we have a great guest on today that will be a great introduction to Sweet Talk for those of you who are not regular listeners. Joining us today is Wesley Usyak. He is the Pharmacy Technician Program Coordinator here at Idaho State University. Welcome, Wesley. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the program that you oversee?
Thank you. Yeah. So I oversee the Pharmacy Technology Program here at Idaho State University. It's part of our Health Occupations program, and basically I'm training individuals to be a pharmacy technician.
Oh, okay. So Wesley, I don't know anything about your program. So is that a degree program, credit program? What type of program? And what's the length of a program like that?
Yeah. So great question, Paul. So, it is a credit-based program. And it takes one academic year to finish. So basically the fall semester to the, again, spring semester. And then, basically you're in the door and then literally out the door in the field.
Oh, wow. So, so this type of program, I mean, you're preparing them to be pharmacy techs, correct?
Correct. So literally, again, it's like the assistant to the pharmacist. So all of those duties are kind of like those other tasks assigned. That's what technicians do. So basically, again, it's anywhere from, again, data entry to filling prescriptions. We had the unique opportunities in Idaho where we, as pharmacy technicians, can, again, administer immunizations. We can also help with point of care testing. So helping individuals like understand like their blood glucose monitors, helping individuals, again, even do like cholesterol testing, anything like that. Again, making a pharmacy like a one-stop shop for everything. And again, pharmacy technicians, assist with all those tasks.
So I have a question for you. What is the outlook for this position? And then my second follow-up question was, do you have students who go through your program and then go to the PharmD?
Yes, so I'll answer both. So to start with,
yeah,
yes, the outlook is great in Idaho. We have the unique opportunity, or I have the unique opportunity right now of not having, well, I don't know if it's necessarily even unique. It's more of, I don't have enough students to actually meet the demands that we need right now. So again, Bureau of Labor Statistics nationwide, and then actually, again, scaling it down to Southeastern Idaho and Idaho in general, we got about a 10% increase over the next 10 years. So which means that I need to be pumping out those pharmacy technicians each year to, again, put them into the pharmacies to help with the demand. And it's because of the, again, baby boomer demand where you have these individuals that are needing, prescription medications or needing this care now that we don't have enough, laborers in the field to meet that. And then ask me your second question again, because I forgot. Sorry.
Okay. So I actually asked this question because we have a student in our department who is in the PharmD program. and
Mhm.
currently looking for a farm tech job. So is it common, or is it at least somewhat common for students to take the farm tech and then go to Pharm D?
So I wouldn't say it's maybe common, but again, it's a pathway. So we're all about in like this, especially in the health occupations department, but then even in mine field, about again a pathway. So looking at certificate to degree. So I have many students that have done that. I have students again like that just finished, like I had 11 graduates in spring. And I had at least about 4 or 5 of those that again are going to again do the prerequisites for pharmacy school. So I would say since the program started back in 2017, we've had out of every group till now at least 40, I would say they have 35 to 40% that again go on that pathway to again Pharm D. Now sometimes they might take a detour. They might again wind up going into like nursing. They might wind up going into like looking at maybe PA. But again, I have students that again are looking to go in that healthcare in the healthcare model where they're again stepping forth from like that certificate to degree.
That's great.
I'm long-winded. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's great.
You give me more.
I like long explanations.
No,
So,
I love
Yeah.
the explanation.
so Wesley, on the people who, what type of people enter into your program? Are these people who maybe are just coming from high school right into the program, or are they coming from a different career? Do you have CNAs that go, hey, I've discovered this health field and I want to move on? Who actually enrolls in your program?
So if we're looking at, what has been enrolling, I do have non-traditional students, again, individuals that maybe again are looking for a new career or a new option, new opportunity. I would say the majority though right now is high school students, and then I'm getting like either right out of high school or we have the unique opportunity of working with dual enrolled students where students can finish this and be able to graduate from high school and the certificate at the same time. Also, that's a big push right now in Idaho, where again we're pushing career technical education, and pharmacy technician is considered career technical education, where they can get this again training and be able to again, get the job right after high school or even in high school, and then kind of like finish like a 2-for-1 kind of deal.
Wow. And
So
you said that they can,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Raylan.
You
Yeah.
finish your progression, and then I get to be next. How
Well,
about that?
no. So you
Okay.
were telling at the beginning that they can enter into the fall and then finish up in the spring, and you're saying it's a high demand field, so they can come in at zero, go through to a career. That's what you're saying.
Correct. They can go through zero to a career. If we're looking at that high school aspect, they start their junior year and again finish by their senior year. But yeah, it could be, and for the non-traditional student, they could have no knowledge or anything in this whatsoever. They got a couple of placement again, our placement, not placement, sorry, a couple of prerequisites that they would have to do. They got to take a different, like a math test to get in, and then they got to be able to pass that, and then to get that, because again, pharmacy techs do a lot of different math in that. And they got to have at least a high school diploma. That's what our requirements are.
Wow.
But pretty much those are it, and then they can go directly again through my program and then into the field after.
That's great. So maybe tell us just a little bit about the program in of itself. Once they get accepted into the program, what does the curriculum look like? Do they come to class? Is it online? Is it how much of it is, all of that things.
Great question. So if I'm looking like at the non-traditional student and I already have like a full-time job and I got kids to take care of and I got like every responsibility outside of it, my program's for you for the idea that it's again a majority is online, 90% of it's online. The only time you come to class is for the labs, which we do 1 in the spring and then 2 in the fall. And then 1 in the fall, 1 lab in the fall, 2 labs in the spring. And basically everything you take from that fall semester, when you're taking those 2 labs in the spring, you get to apply that at a thing called practicum, where you get 180 hours of training, like actually on the job. My labs are again convenient too. They're only once a week. And then we partner those with the College of Pharmacy. So all of the labs that I do, they actually are performed in that same building, like with them together, which is great. Kind of gives you like that foreshadowing of like what you're going to do next.
That's very cool. So if somebody were to be living in another area, can they take this class? Or, they have to obviously be able to come here for the labs.
Correct. They got to come here for at least once a week. To maybe look at another opportunity again of talking further, but we are in the midst of looking to make again 100% online, and we're in the works of that right now.
Oh, wow.
One other thing to think about too with our program, and I just kind of want to like piggyback on this. My program is accredited by the American Society of Health System Pharmacists, which basically means that's the stamp of approval that again looks at nationwide for pharmacy education for pharmacists and then pharmacy technicians as well. We are the only accredited 4-year institution program in the state of Idaho, which is huge.
Very cool. Nice.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that practicum looks like?
Yeah, so it's 180 hours during so I've learned everything in the fall, and now I take everything that I've learned in the fall, apply it in the spring. We send you to a retail pharmacy within your area where you live. So I've had students, American Falls, Soda Springs, where I send them there. I've ones a lot in the Idaho Falls or Ammon or Iona area. So I'm pairing you with that pharmacy in that field, and then you do 180 hours. It's not required for the pharmacy to hire you, but you get that kind of like 180-hour job interview, so hopefully you can look to be hired afterwards. My program has 100% placement rate. Whether they either go to school or they again get a job in the field, it's there. So either way, yeah, practicum sometimes turns into a job, but it doesn't have to be. It's really about getting that experience so you kind of know what we've talked about in the didactic and kind of can apply that actually to real world experiences.
Wow, that's great. That 100% placement, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope we can keep it forever.
So obviously you have good partnerships with our local pharmacies, and they must be good supporters of the program as well.
Correct. They have again nationwide. I have again contracts that I started here, but again they go with like Kroger, Albertsons, Costco. Actually, Costco we just gained this past again spring, which is great. Just again provides other opportunities for students. More retail than the hospital based. Sometimes the hospital based pharmacy requires a little more education aspect. But we get ready and we gear students to take the national exam that will again help them be like a hospital certified pharmacy technician. There's just a lot of different roads you can go in pharmacy. What I tell every student maybe that's unsure or doesn't know what to do, no matter what aspect of healthcare you do, whether you're helping out giving giving like a horse again an injection, or if you're again looking at helping our individual explain what their blood sugar is, or that every aspect of healthcare has to deal with drugs and know again how they deal with and how they react in the body. So this is a good stepping stone for that.
Excellent. So one of the questions is, what are the biggest challenges for someone who wants to come into the program? What do you find is the most common denominator going, oh, I'm struggling with?
I would say time is always the one big thing, especially someone that hasn't been a student in a while. You got to be able to manage it, and you got to manage it on your own like that, because again, these classes are online. A lot of my assignments are due on a weekly basis, but you got to again be able to put that time in that to do it. And I can't, give a number. Yeah, there's the credit-based number of you take so many credits and it's so many hours you should do, but you as the student got to be able to put that together. That's A. Or that's A, or number one. Number two, or B, is the math. Everyone gets again caught up on the medication math. I would say it's not something that's difficult, but it's something you got to practice. And if you struggle with it, we at this college, on our third floor, Center of New Directions, all of that, we have tutoring, we have all of those things to help you to be able to pass the ALEX test, which is called the ALEX test, which is that math component, and kind of learn that algebra and all of that, and then kind of then take it to the next point of again applying that for pharmacy. So those are my two big things, and those have been the common hiccups in that. And then the third one is, every student says, well, I just wish it was all, 100% where it was face to face. And in today's world, that's just not possible. We again have to move forward to the online aspect, and that's where education is. So those are probably my three top complaints.
So how many students do you take each year into your programs?
12 is what we take, but that number is not again, set in stone. We've made exceptions to that. And it's just for the simple thing of, again, not always everyone that applies or gets in, again, actually does stick with it in the beginning.
Okay. And you said they have to be able to come to campus once a week or
Once a week. Once a week in the fall and then once a week in the spring.
Okay. All right.
And what do those labs look like? What do the students do when they're in that lab time?
So in that first fall semester of lab, they're doing like it's called applied pharmacy technology 1. So they're kind of learning like the retail base of pharmacy. So, excuse me, anywhere from, we do like mock like role playing, like customer interactions, how to deal with a difficult patient or difficult customer, learning how to deal with a cash register, some things that some students, high school students, or even the non-traditional have not done that before. So we do a lot of those role playing exercises that kind of deal with that. And they take a lot of that like didactic stuff like the law and kind of understand like what pharmacy techs can do, what they can't do. They learn how to do, look at, data entry and look at that, the medical language. We have like our own terminology. So they learn how to decipher like different abbreviations and such. So they take all that first semester. Oh, like counting just different medications, how we count those, how we go to like, how we basically, prepare the medication. And then they can apply that their spring semester to those different lab classes. And then we kind of introduced like the idea of immunization training. We also do point of care testing. I have 2 pharmacists that come in from the College of Pharmacy that do those specific exercises with them. So those are 2 different labs with them, and they get some continuing education for it. And we also do non-sterile and sterile compounding. So learning how to make like creams, ointments, lollipops, veterinary treats. We do all that stuff that spring semester. Also, again, aseptic techniques. So we again use this, we learn how to prepare like IVs or injections. And this is all stuff that pharmacy technicians can do.
Great.
Wow.
So I have a question for you, Wesley.
Yep, go ahead, Leanne.
Obviously, you worked as a pharmacy tech for a period of time.
Yes.
What brought you to teaching, to education?
So I think that's like one thing that I love about like the College of Technology. So I'm going to give you a long answer, but it's again kind of goes in. All of us faculty here, we've spent like you asked Raylan, like time in the field. So I spent 10 years in that field, and literally I have to say, it was kind of just by chance that I became a technician, and then it was by chance about instruction. I always thought, and it's probably like a joke, I always thought pharmacy technician or like pharmacy technician education was like a joke. I didn't think it was like something that was real. And then I saw myself again years later as a trainer, seeing that we didn't have the time to train people. And that's kind of what brought me into this, is that I could take my skills and my expertise and share that with people and help them get into the field they want, because in like pharmacies today, they don't have time to train people, and that's why they can come to me.
Got it. Probably
Awesome.
helps with attrition too, right? When they're trained.
Yes, it does. It helps them again, so they don't have like the staff turnover. Unfortunately, right now, a lot of pharmacies are dealing with that staff turnover, but that's because of COVID, and like everybody else, we kind of can blame that on COVID too.
They blame a lot of things on that.
Cool.
Right?
Exactly, but for this one, it's the truth.
And a lot to blame.
Yeah.
So, Wesley, if someone was interested in your program, what would they do?
So they would reach out to our College of Technology. They can contact them, through, again, the website, the number, the 208-282-2800, and again, say, hey, I want to enroll in this program. And then basically they will walk you through, again, that application step. We have a great marketing recruiting services here. Again, our student services as well makes our college, again, unique. It's not just like one central place. They can talk to those individuals and then walk them through, and then hopefully maybe even do a tour, kind of see what our program is, and then again, go through those enrollment steps.
That's awesome.
We are running low on time, so I'm so glad we wrapped up with that. But before we turn anything over, can students get financial aid for this program?
Yes, they definitely can. So 100%, again, when they're going through that application process, they can, again, fill out the FAFSA and, again, be able to get this because, again, it is credit-based.
Great. And Wesley, do you sometimes do recruitment tours at high schools to inform students about your program?
Most definitely. I try to meet with instructors. I met with some like district again 25, again our local, again Pocatello school district in that, but I provide those tours, or again even like information sessions with them to kind of get them interested in healthcare, especially for the people that just don't know what they want to do. This is a great stepping stone.
Excellent. Excellent. Terrific.
Well, thank you so much for being on. We only have about less than a minute left for Paul to wrap
Okay.
us up, but I just wanted to thank you so much. This was extremely informative. I didn't know until just during this podcast how much Pharm techs can do, and I work in the same building with you. So I'm really glad that you took the time to share a little bit about this program with us.
I got one
Most
last
definitely.
question. One
Yeah, go
last
ahead.
question. What's your favorite part about your job, Wesley?
The students and teaching. Everything that I do besides that, like as a program coordinator, just as a fancy word for handle the accreditation and handle that stuff, like the administrative stuff. But I love the teaching and the students that I deal with, because I can feel the fact, and it's not just like blowing smoke. Like I literally feel that I am impacting and helping someone change their life for the future.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. So.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to find out about our programs, you can visit our website at cetrain.isu.edu, or you can email us at cetrain@isu.edu, or you can give us a call at 208-282-3372. And this podcast is the way that we inform our community about programs like Wesley's and other things that go on in our community. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. And as always, be safe out there.